All right, I'm trying to help you see the incredible revelation that it is one event that spans space-time, thousands of years, and manifests itself in the fullness as the symbolic New York is the representation of the Garden of Eden event, which symbolizes the fall of man. Now, this is such an incredible revelation. Follow me closely here. I'm going to read that verse to you later after this that I promised you in Ezekiel, which is going to really outline what I'm saying to you here. First off, what we need to understand is that when I tell you they fulfill the scriptures, I mean, I really mean it. They are fulfilling the scriptures. This is the micro. The Garden of Eden event is the micro. Here is the macro repercussions of that event. Now let me walk you through this. The Garden of Eden event has been projected as a perfect mirror image in the New York ritual geometry layout. And when I tell you that, that's that first and second cup event. It is a ritual sacrifice. And this ritual sacrifice is being laid out with geometry. The geometry is the architecture which creates the symbols, which manipulates the energy in space-time. And you need to watch my videos entitled Geometry, the Binding of Terrestrial Spirits to understand that. But look, friends, check this out. Let this blow you away. Fully absorb this. We have the characters in the Garden of Eden event. We have the serpent, which tempts Eve, which is offering the fruit. And the fruit is the knowledge of good and evil, which manifests itself as the material merchandise. Now, watch exactly what you see here. We have the Statue of Liberty. We have the two towers, which represents the merchandise, the duality of good and evil. That's the whole reason why they have put these two towers here, to symbolize that duality of good and evil that has evolved and manifested itself into the material merchandise. We have New York itself is manifesting itself in the fullness as the Big Apple. It is the fullness of the symbolic representation of the repercussion of the Garden of Eden event. Now, you're asking yourself, who is Eve? Eve is being depicted as the whore. Now, I'm not depicting Eve as the whore, but you have to understand that Eve is in place here as the whore. Remember, Eve, as far as the Bible is concerned, is the one that was tempted. This is the temptation that has caused the fall of man. Eve is being the whore by defiling herself with this knowledge of good and evil, of course, of which Adam did partake of. So there we have all of the elements in place, my friends. We have a perfect mirror projection of the Garden of Eden event all the way through. Now here's a better diagram for you to see what we've got right before your eyes here. The apple represents the temptation that was the first commerce. That apple was commerce. It was merchandise. It was trade. It was good and evil. That's what the towers represent, the duality of good and evil. Then we have the serpent, which is Lucifer, which is symbolized as the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty is a Lucifer. Then we have Eve, which is symbolized as the whore that rides the beast. That beast is commercial Babylon. And then we have the good and evil, which the apple represents, which you'll see manifest itself as the merchandise. And there is the two towers that represent that. Double unto her, the twin towers, the merchandise. And then as we see here in verse 12, the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones. That's talking about the twin towers. I'll be back.